going on? It's your boy Mills from Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media, the Fighters and Trainers channel, and most importantly, the People's channel. And we have here the technician from Worcester, Massachusetts, Jermaine Ortiz. How we doing, man? How we doing?
Man, I'm doing good, doing good. We about 3 days away, so I'm excited and just enjoying my time out here and doing what we do during fight week. Just relax, take it easy, cut weight.
So I see that Steve Claggett got hurt. You got a new opponent, Dominican, another Dominican fellow. What do you know about your opponent? I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce his name right, so I don't even want to try it. How do you pronounce
I
his
don't
name?
even know how to pronounce his name.
Already, and I'm Boricua and you're Boricua and Dominican, so we got some work to do. But anyway, what do you think about him? Have you seen
Um,
film?
I've seen a little bit. He's a tall fighter, likes to box. So complete opposite of what Claggett was. Claggett was more my height, pressure fighter, come forward. So it's a lot different from what we was getting prepared for, but we adjust and we'll adapt.
Okay, okay. Tell me, since then it's been what? Teofimo Lopez since then?
Since
No,
when?
my bad. I'm sorry about that.
No,
I'm
I've
talking about.
had two fights since Teal.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
gonna be the third fight since Teal.
Both in Florida, both in Orlando, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be the third one since Teal in Orlando.
Right, right. And both the last one was a unanimous decision, and then you got a fourth round stop at just right.
Yeah.
Tell me, how does it feel just coming to a Jake Paul MVP card?
It's dope. I think I like working with Box Lab and CS. They always are able to get me on different cards. So I get the experience of working with different promotional companies, get the exposure of what these other promoters have to offer. And so I'm excited. I've been across them all so far, most of the promotional companies, the bigger ones. So it's a good experience. Cool. Today we did the photo shoots. The photo shoots came out fire. And so just a nice way to be back on their, well, for them, their first fight night card.
Right.
Supposed to be a big. I was supposed to be the co-main event with my opponent being Claggett, but they dropped me down lower on the card due to the opponent change.
Okay. So tell me, I mean, in this stage of your career, what are you most excited for? I mean, obviously you're at that 140 division. I mean, how long do you feel like you could stay at the division? And yeah, what is your initial plan when it comes down to going to what belt per se you're looking towards? Highest ranking.
I like to go with the WBC. Matthias is there. I know he got a fight coming up with Dalton Smith in November. So the winner of that, I would love to face. Dalton Smith said no to me before we was, they offered my name to him and he already said no. So I don't know if he'll take that fight, but my job is to try to make myself mandatory so they don't have no other option but to take the fight.
Tell me, when were you offered the Dalton Smith, or when did you send the offers to Dalton Smith?
This was a couple months ago. This was a couple months ago. I can't really pinpoint it, but I know my name got thrown in there for him to choose me as an opponent, and they just didn't want to. They was trying to set it up, and he didn't want to. And it was gonna be in his backyard.
Oh, okay. What do you think about him and Matthias, and who do you think that you would have to face?
Um, I don't know. I haven't got to watch Dalton Smith before, but I'm assuming he's a boxer. The Europeans, UK people, they can box pretty good. So we'll see if he can handle Matthias's pressure, but we'll just see.
How do you feel at 140 pounds?
I feel great, man. I feel good. I feel like I can control this division, be here for another year or two, and then move up.
Tell me, when you look at all the guys, and I actually talked to Antoine Russell, I believe a guy that you faced in the amateurs.
Yep.
You know, he has that the WBA title. You got Richardson Hitchens, another guy that you beat in the amateurs with the IBF. And those are two names that you already been able to share the ring with. Um, and then obviously, of course, Teofimo Lopez when you guys were at 135. So tell
140.
me
That
when
fight was at
one.
140.
Oh, that was that's right. That was your first title shot. That's right. So tell me, I mean, when you look at these guys, and then obviously the WBC Matias, who do you feel like is the more entertaining fight that matches well with your style?
I think it would be a Matias fight that would match well with my style. That was going to be the most entertaining for sure. I would say it's the Matias fight. He's going to
Do
keep
you
on coming forward, and I'm going to be able to outbox him, but also put the hands on him and be in and out.
okay? Do you feel like that's where you work the best when opponents are coming towards you?
I work great with either or. Me having to chase down a fighter or opponents coming towards me. Either way, you guys seen me in the ring with both of them and you've seen how it's been. So I can fight
Yeah.
every way, every style, however I want.
In this fight per se this Saturday, I mean, tell me, do you feel like you have to make a statement and show that you need to, I don't know, per se, get this opponent out of here?
That's not the mentality I'm going in with, but obviously, from the outside looking in, that's what it's looking like. But I'm just going in there to do my job, not taking no opponent lightly. The last minute replacements can always be dangerous. They're looking to just knock you out or just make an upset and just surprise you. You never know how they're coming. So you've been preparing for a long time. You don't know what he's been up to, and you can't take nobody lightly.
What do you when you look at some of these guys, you said that your style matches very well with Matthias. Other than that, you was calling out Gary Antoine Russell before I think the last interview we had.
Yeah,
Um, what do you think that style looks like? With your style and him, and is
that's.
that something that people should be looking forward to?
I think so too. I think every style I can make entertaining. I can make every style entertaining, and with that fight as well, I think it would be good. He comes forward. He likes to throw short punches, and I think that would be a great fight. A Gotti versus Ward type of thing.
Mm. Have you had conversations with any of these guys? I know you go to like New York for the press conferences and whatnot and stuff. So, I mean, have you been able to, set eyes and talk to some of these guys, perhaps Tiafimo
I
after your
haven't.
fight, and none of them?
I've seen Teofimo after my fight a couple of times. Um, and I
How's that
think that
conversation?
it was normal. I tell him I want that rematch, but he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't really want to fight anybody at this point. Uh, But I think if I become champion, unified champion, maybe I force him to run it back. It's gonna take a couple performances and me becoming world champion for the people to be like, nah, we gotta see that. We gotta see that again.
Mm. With the Matias and Puello fight, what did you think about that? I know you had Puello winning the fight leading up to it, but Matias ended up winning. What do you think about the result?
Yeah, I don't think Matthias really took it. I just thought Matthias was really hitting him in the arms. The forearms didn't really. Puello wasn't doing bad. I feel like Puello was landing the cleaner shots. I think it was more his body language. His body language didn't look as good. Uh, where Matthias looked and seemed like he was in control and putting him in the corner and in the ropes where it seemed like he's dominating, but he wasn't landing for me clean shots like Puyo was. So it depends how you judge the fight. He's dictating the pace a bit where Puyo's body language seems like he's retreating and kind of in trouble, even though he's landing the cleaner shots. So it depends what you favor, the cleaner shots or who's in control.
Right. How about Richardson Hitchens? He has the IBF. He had a great performance against Liam Paro taking his belt in Puerto Rico. But in the same time, you know, um, we're here at this point, and he had Cambosis, which a lot of people looked at that fight was like, that don't really count. We can't just put Cambosis in at 140 and say that you fought somebody at 140. But what do you think about him? I mean, you say that Teal's not fighting nobody. What do you think about him? Because he's constantly calling out Teal or Haney, and
Yeah,
Haney's at 47.
yeah, I personally think Hitchens does want to fight all them guys that he's calling out. Cambosos, he's a good fighter, you know. So for the people not giving Hitchens credit because I don't know why, because Cambosos came up from 35, doesn't matter. Every fighter goes up and either they become world champion or they don't. So uh Cambosos was
After
still,
getting stopped by Lomachenko.
yeah, Cambosos was still is still a threat. So I think those are just haters talking. At the end of the day, you got somebody who's fought a lot of fights, who's competed with world champions, ain't no slouch. So Hitchens did a great job in that fight.
Do you feel like the 140 division is still that division, knowing that some of these guys have moved up to 47?
Um, it's still good. It's still on fire, but you know some guys have moved up to 47, so it's like it's not as hot as it was when Devin, Ryan, Rowley, I don't know who else was still at 140 because it's like now it's the same bunch that was at 135 that made 135 on fire was all at 140, but now kind of scattered a little bit, you know, because at one point all of the fighters that we're talking about now and the ones at 47 was at 135 with the fighter of Tank, the superstar, was still at 35 as well, you know, with the potential. And I think Shakur was there as well, right? Because my name was mixed up with him a couple times when we're supposed to fight. So that was just a fire division. But then it got kind of scattered real quick. Just a couple fights, 140, everybody just jumped straight to 47.
Mm, mm. Look at my man HLD. No one believes in Puello. That was a whooping Matias last 4 rounds. Too close of a show. He also says Matias is the most beatable at 140 with 3 losses, including Puello. What do you think about that? Do you think that he's the easiest?
Depends. Every fighter brings their own challenges, man. Every fighter brings their own different types of challenges. Either easiest to outbox, that's for sure. But you ain't been in there and received them hits and what they do to you on the inside, that pressure. You know, they all bring a different type of style. One's a lengthy, long boxer that's gonna pick his shots. One kind of comes forward and throws very fast and explosive. One is a little bit slower but just keeps on coming. It's it depends what your style is and what's the hardest for you.
Right. Right. Lots of people are seeing the mannerism in some of these guys. Obviously, Teofimo Lopez and Matias were in the negotiations 2 times. You know, and we seen that Matias approached Tio. Do you feel like that fight? Do you feel like either or fighter was ducking each other?
I don't know. I feel like Teofimo been trying to duck people because he hasn't been fighting. I don't know what's his reason excuse. So if it's somebody avoiding a fight, I'm pretty sure Matias was going to get paid well, and he already had a loss. So I don't even think it mattered to him of trying to duck a fight against Teofimo. I just think it's more Teofimo not agreeing to the terms.
Yeah. In a Teofimo Lopez rematch, what do you think that you would do different?
I'll bring the fight to him. That's what the people want to see. I'll bring the fight right to him. It'll be the complete opposite of the last one, and I'll still beat him that way, just so I could show that no matter how I fight, it's gonna I'm gonna make him look easy.
Right. Now, you're fighting on an MVP card, and obviously MVP put out some news today that no, sorry, Gervonta Davis will be fighting Jake Paul.
Yeah,
What do you think about that? November 14th.
I think Tank retires after this. I think he's done with
Really?
boxing. Yeah, I think he's done with boxing.
Wow. I've been hearing that a lot. Tell me why you feel that way.
He's been wanting to get out of boxing for a minute, you know, and why is he gonna take any risk with any of these other fighters? He just fought Lamont Roach. A lot of people thought Lamont Roach should have won. Um, he said himself he wanted to go to therapy, and but he doesn't want to do it now because then he won't have the same love for the sport. Who knows? Maybe he did start therapy low key, and he's like, I'm done. He's made a lot of money already in the sport. He's one of the highest paid fighters, so he can get out whenever he wants to. So he was like, you know what? With this fight, I'm definitely gonna be well paid. I'm gonna get paid way more than I fight anybody else because everybody else is looking to fight him to get paid. Now he's getting a fight where he's gonna get super paid. Like after this, there's probably gonna be two, three of my fights with any of these guys. I'm done.
When you say that, do you ever see yourself ending it like that? I think they was quoting around what 100 million.
That's what they
I don't know
quoted.
if
How
it's the.
much is
I
it?
don't know if it's a rumor. It's a rumor. So
I don't know, but
I think that's what Tyson got paid, right? Last time he fought in
if it's
I-
that much, then
yeah,
shoot. Again, I think it's Netflix that's paying, that's putting the bid up, and Netflix got that cash, and they seen what the numbers did with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, with the Serrano with Amanda Serrano too. So they're like, you know what, this is working. We're gonna dish it out. This is working. So
fact.
100 mil compared to that's probably five fights. It's probably
No,
five of his fights. So
well, nah. I think they were saying because remember, Tank made around like 30 with Ryan, which is like the highest, and they were saying something about we don't know what this Lamont Roach pay was gonna be. I think they were saying they were quoting at like 10 mil. So imagine you taking 10 or you taking a
taking
100.
100, ain't no
You
question
out of
about
there?
it.
Are you out
Yeah.
of there though without
It
after a
depends
draw?
on me. For me, it depends what goals I've achieved at that time. Like if I still got more to achieve and I
Your
need
tank,
to,
your
huh?
tank, your tank. You're with his accolades,
Doesn't have to me that many accolades like that. He hasn't fought like great fighters to be like, yo, Tank was the best. He got great knockouts, that's for sure. Definitely great a lot of highlight reels, but his opponents, not the people that people wanted to see him in there with.
mm, I see how you said opponents versus titles and stuff. Like you believe the name is probably just as important as the title.
Yeah, I think titles can be a little bit overrated nowadays. Not saying that I still want my titles,
Right, right,
but
right. You gotta have them.
when these fighters go up and have became one or two division world champion, you see they don't really care much about the titles, the fee that they gotta pay to even hold the title, and multiple times they're like, I'll just take one belt, unless they're trying to achieve undisputed and really trying to be the best. A lot of times they just like, I'm gonna play it smart, keep one belt. But the opponent, look at Ryan Garcia. How many people would want to be in his position? He's never been world champion, but it's probably the name he has and the opponents he's fought that kind of, all right, you know. And the main opponent was really Devin, right?
But yeah, what
Who
what
else
for who?
for Ryan?
For Ryan, Devin.
That's it. He lost to
Remember
Rolly.
he lost Rolly and Tank beat Rolly.
Yeah. Oh, he fought Tank too. I forgot. Ryan fought Tank. Not
And
that he
Tank
beat him, but it's still
Tank
the,
beat
the
Ryan.
opponents that you fought. So I definitely think the opponents you fought kind of raised your name. I know it's definitely done it with me. Me fighting Lomachenko definitely raised me up. So if it
Yeah,
wasn't for that fight, if it wasn't for the Teofimo fight, my name wouldn't be as popular, as big as it was if it wasn't for those opponents. Again, I'm not world champion, but the opponents and how you do with those opponents definitely kind of elevate you to what kind of how good of a fighter you are.
big facts because if you like, yeah, if you didn't take the Loma, you're not fighting Tia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense. And you had some names even before that too, but
Yeah.
not like the top of the top, like
These
echelon
were
names.
pound for pounds. They were on the pound for
Yeah,
pound list. It's different when you fight in pound for pound. give me another two people on the pound for pound. Let's see what
and
I
you
do
and you
there.
fight good, and you fight good with a pound for pound opponent, it's
Mm.
gonna elevate you tremendously. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Controversial, not just fight good, but have it be very controversial.
as well, as well. Facts, big facts. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I hear you on that, and a lot of people are saying that the fighters in this era, they're not fighting. They want too much money to fight a name. What do you see? What do you think about that?
I think they're trying to juice it out, but again, it goes to what you want. You want to get paid. Everybody wants to get paid. We're not gonna put that aside. Everybody want to get paid,
Hmm.
but you want to prove yourself too. You got to be a balance of both. There's some people who feel like they already proved themselves, and now they're just trying to get paid because they took them risks early on without getting paid, and now it's like it's my time to get paid. Canelo, I mean Crawford, he's one that probably fought so many for world titles, undisputed 2 times, and not till he fought Errol Spence is where he's finally getting the money where he felt like he's been deserving all along. And why you think like why are you gonna fight Canelo? What you mean? I'm gonna get this money that's finally here to compensate for all them fights that I fought for low purses.
Right. Do you tell me? Do you feel like with this Tank situation, right? Do you feel like if he don't fight Roach or Shakur, there's gonna be a, I don't know, shade shade into his career
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
didn't
Why
fight those
why why
guys?
didn't you everybody wants to see him fight Shakur? Why didn't you fight Shakur? That's the fight that if you really want to stamp yourself beating another great fighter, because Shakur is gonna go down as one of the great fighters, right? Then you can prove it right here by beating him.
Right.
Beating Rolly, beating Ryan, again, not world champions. People who kind of always look at him as like throw shade on him, right? Like they kind of suck. Like they're not never considered the best fighters. Only fanboys will consider them one of the best fighters.
Tell me, why didn't you fight Shakur?
Uh, because I ended up moving up to 140. The fight with Teofimo King.
Oh, okay. So
I
you
had
it was
one
like,
fight. I had. It was a deal. I had to fight 2 times, and then the third fight, I'll fight Shakur. Fought 1 time. Second time is when I couldn't make weight for one of the fights. So since then, they just gave me the fight with Teofimo at 140.
okay, okay. Hearing that Shakur wants to fight Tio, does that feel like, hey, does that feel good that, hey, possibly he wants to entertain going up to 40, that fight could possibly happen with you too?
Yeah, I've spoken to Shakur and told him like, yo, I'm here to fight. He's like he when he talked to me, he told me he didn't have no intentions of going up to 140, but he's throwing the shade at Tio. Well, shit, if he's gonna fight Tio, could fight me.
Mm.
If you're trying to get a warm up right before it settle into 140, then come see me.
And instead he want Tio, you saying?
He'll fight Tio, but he could fight me before he fights Tio. Some fighters
You,
before when they move up to a weight class, they like to settle in sometimes by taking a fight.
you think Shakur looks at you as a harder task than Tio?
Yeah, I think we've seen Tio enough to see how he kind of fights. He's gonna come one way or the other. With me, it's not one way or the other. It's this way, that way, up, down. Like you don't know which way I'm coming.
Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be a big fight. What's the biggest fight for Jermaine, you think?
I think a big fight with me would be Devin Haney or Shakur.
Hmm. Devin Haney and Shakur. Yeah, I mean, you will definitely be a welterweight one day, right? Yes. Do
Yeah.
you think do you do you think you'll be at 54? Do you think Devin will go to 54?
Eventually, as we get older, probably my mid 30s, maybe I go to 54.
That type
We'll
deal.
see. Yeah.
Who do you think? How do you? I don't want to say how do you train for Shakur and Devin, but who do you feel like is a harder task?
I think Shakur is more of a harder test.
Faster, smarter, has more game.
Better at controlling his distance.
Just the distance alone. Defense. The
Yeah,
defense is better.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Even though that you switch, right? And as good as Shakur is, and him being a southpaw, does that still complicate things?
No,
No, not at all.
no.
Okay. You knowing that you could switch, what do you think about, Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez? Do you feel like that ability of him switching can, I don't know, give Canelo problems?
I know it will give him problems. Canelo doesn't really do that great with southpaws. I got Crawford by decision. If not, it's Canelo by knockout. That's the only way it goes.
Either or. Either or. What do you think about Ernesto Mercado?
Haven't watched him.
No, you haven't watched him?
No.
Okay. Okay. Um, so yeah, you basically got a deal that you could basically work with pretty much any platform.
Yeah.
That's good. That's real good. Where did you do your training camp this week? This fight for this fight.
This time I did it in Massachusetts.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, good work. Did you get some good work? Did you just use local work? I mean, this was something that was just a walk in the park for you for this fight.
No fight and no training camp is a walk in the park. That don't
No.
exist. No,
Okay.
no.
I seen a
No
clip.
exist.
I seen a clip on your Instagram with one of your coaches. He said something. You guys were looking at a machine, and he was saying something about you're really 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 fit, but your recovery it could be better. Then you said, "Can I work harder?" or something like that. Why did you say that?
No, because we're going by stats. I'm a person that does everything with data and stats.
Yeah.
So how he's interpreting the data, right? We're looking at heart rate and recovery zones between heart rate. And he wants me to be in zone one, even though I'm in zone two, for example. So we're just throwing things out there on how we can get better at dropping the heart rate, you know, just throwing ideas out.
Okay. Fair to say. What do you think about Brian Norman and Devin Haney? November 22nd.
I think Devin can outbox him, but I'm curious to know, Brian's a young kid, how he can come out fast and see how Devin reacts to one of them hard shots. Because in reality, we didn't see him take anything against Ramirez.
Right. Right. That's true. That's true. So you don't you need to see if he's gun shy or not. Still.
Uh, yeah, that's what we got to figure out.
Okay. Okay. What about as far as the IQ, the talent of both fighters? I mean, does one supersede the other by a dramatic, like a big percentage difference?
I think Devin got more experience. I think his IQ should be bit better. So we'll just see.
Yeah. Who do you think wins that fight?
I don't know.
No, you have no idea.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, okay. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time, Jermaine, because I know that you got to get rest after these workouts and you're making weight and
Yes.
all. But I really appreciate you, and yeah, man. To the next time, good luck this
Thank you.
Saturday, and we'll be tuning in on the MVP Most Valuable Promotions card, man. We'll tune
Yeah,
in
tune
this
in.
Saturday.
Tune in early. Thank you. Appreciate it, Mill City.
You already know, brother. Stay blessed.
Thank you.
Smash the like button. Also, subscribe to Jermaine Ortiz's YouTube channel as
For
well.
sure. Just drop some
All right.
content. I just dropped some
Yeah.
content. Go check it out.
I was actually checking it out the other day.
Uh, uh,
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Good
Peace.
editing. I like it.
Peace. Thank you.
Take it easy, man. Smash a like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I'll be back. I just need some rest. Need to go do some errands, but I wanted to make sure I knock this one out for Jermaine before he gets get working and stuff like that. Appreciate you guys for tapping in, and I'll be back a little bit later on tonight. All right, like people.